Ladies and gentlemen,
Mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, it's with a great honor that we start our conference, which is aiming at illustrating and concentrating on a sector that is very important in the economy of Morocco, which is cosmetics. This sector is an important sector in the structure of the economy because it represents 13% of the economy of Morocco. It employs a lot of Moroccans, more than 2.5 million of workers, and also 10 million people who are working directly or indirectly in this sector. This event that was organized in the framework of Expo 2020 in the Moroccan pavilion in order to honor these women and men of Morocco who want to defend the colors of their country and also utilize all the assets of Morocco. And this is through the embassies and ambassadors in order to give a boost to this industry and what can be done currently in Morocco. In this regard, I am pleased to invite somebody who has been a pioneer in this field, Mr. Tariq Al-Saddiq, who is the director of the Handicraft House of Morocco. And Monsieur Tariq is a director general, and he has a particular mission, and I give him the floor. He will start. You have the floor.
First of all, I want to thank the Moroccan agri industry who give us
Je remercie le pavillon du Maroc pour m'avoir donné cette opportunité pour parler de la maison d'artisanat du Maroc. Je remercie l'équipe
honored
et je voudrais commencer par dire qu'on est honoré pour participer à cet événement.
and I want all the neighbors having contacts to Moroccan agri and all the people behind this branch give us one also thank all the people who keep us in the room, also through the digital media attending this. Thank you very much for being here, and we are very pleased and honored to be the conference. As I said, Habitat is important part of economy. Two people are working in this area, even in the traditional food and sleep, but also the service are now developing very good. This allows us to have mastery of to number of 12 billion stars production all the areas behind Africa. And in this amount, have a very clothing and growing niche, which is the cosmetic product, Moroccan cosmetic product based in natural and based on, as we say in French, and this niche is now offering us a very exceptional opportunity to link Moroccan product, Moroccan producer, and try to make them visible and make them connect to the world, all the ecosystem of the product. We are very proud now to have several brands, cosmetic brands, based, as you may know, of our more famous products as Argan or other products that now are renowned all around the world. And Morocco is now considered one of the most valuable producers and valuable exporters of those kind of products. This is why we are now here today with you, try to expose our experience and share also what we are doing to make this segment with this niche of cosmetic product to share with you the high expertise that all the Moroccan operators have developed system. And also, I think it will be an opportunity to connect, especially with operators in Dubai, UAE, and try to identify some routes of partnership. Since we have among us a lot of Moroccan producers and operators here connected and attending remotely to this meeting, I think it will be a very good opportunity for us. And now, the La Maison de l'Artisan, which is a public establishment and public institution working under the umbrella of the Ministry of Tourism and Handicraft and Social Economy, we are working very hard with the ministry, trying to strengthen and develop this sector. Why? With our partnership with Agence Développement Agricole, which is in charge of the first part, I mean for the la matière première for the product, we're going to try to develop and help the producers through all the value chain to make a competitive, high quality product, and a product will be adapted and fulfilling the requirements on the different markets. So this is our main objective right now, and we are very happy to be a partnership and a partner for this very interesting conference. And I'm hoping and wishing a good conference to everyone. And I will be very happy with my colleagues that are in the room to answer all the questions and also make contacts with everyone and trying to develop partnership. So thank you very much for the invitation, and I will be following this meeting with a very strong interest. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sadiq. Thank you very much, Mr. Sadiq. As we have heard, it's all about sustainability, encouragement and investment. Merci beaucoup pour vos mots, Sadiq, qui, au nom de la Maison de l'Artisan, rassure aussi le parterre des personnes qui sont parmi nous aujourd'hui sur l'implication.
Applications and the encouragement continuously of the handicraft house in this sector, which is the sector of the development of the handicraft product. I invite a second person who is important in this event, Ilyas Ben Talha, who is in charge of the promotion of the handicraft house La Maison d'Artisan. Hello everyone. I hope that the mic is working well. Hello everyone. Thank you for your attendance. So I will start with an introduction that will be building on what Mr. Sadiq has said. We will talk about two things, the trends that are happening now in the cosmetic production, and we will talk about some conclusions that will follow. Everyone knows that the natural cosmetic sector is very important. It is nurturing and developing, and it creates an investment opportunity for mini, it is a sector that is very competitive as well because it has a great potential for development and it has a lot of assets and it has a great potential in the exportation. So we will tackle this from two perspectives, offer and demand. Regarding the demand, the cosmetic products today are more and more attractive to the clients, and both men and the women buy this product in all ages, by the way. Today, the client has an access that is high thanks to the internet, and the consumer of today looks at the information, looks for any information that they need, and of course, they benefit from the buying power and they look for anything that they want. Second point is that the clients have a global vision about beauty and well-being, and there is an awareness and the recognition of the benefits of the cosmetic products. The client do not look only at the products that are good for the health, but also for the beauty. The third point is the fact that the clients today can be easily engaging in the environment. Today, the client can engage efficiently in the context. It means they look for the friendly environment product and the sustainable product. These clients they intervene conveniently and they look at the entire supply chain and they focus on the sustainable product, anything that can go in this direction. And of course, there are several companies that are working in this sector. Point number 4, there is the development of tourism in Morocco, and this sector, especially in Morocco, there is the tourism of the well-being. There are several spots that are serving this cause, and there is a trend that is continuously developing. So regarding the demand, we talked about it. As per the offer, we know that, as our colleague said, we have the argan oil, we have the rasoul clay, and it is a clay that is used for beauty, and we know that there are flowers like the types our colleague shared with you. We have also the henna, which is not only used for cosmetic purposes, but also we know in Morocco that it is like a good omen that can be used and can bring a chance and good luck to the users. And of course, we have the face lipstick. It is a powder and it is not only a lipstick, but it is an ingredient that keep the lips fresh. And regarding the Moroccan operator in this sector, this creates an environment that is very competitive to the investor in this sector. Second point in the offer is that these companies that are working and operating in this field, they benefit from a lot of things because there is a development in the brands. We see that there are several actors that they developed the brands and some sub-brands, which means that they produced several products that are diverse. There are small doses, medium doses, and big doses. And the actors also developed the labeling, and there is a very sophisticated labeling that is enriched now. And also, they launch several lines of production. We have oils, we have perfumes, and other extracts. And we find as well that the offer is very rich and is very significant as well. Third point is that the branch of the production in this sector is positioned into the industry, the handicraft, and the agriculture, which means that the operators in this sector benefit from the advantages and encouragement of the government, and the operator benefits from the accompaniment in the supply chain and the value chain as well. In addition to the advertising and the distribution, which means that Morocco focuses on this sector, and those who work in this sector benefit from this. The cosmetic industry in Morocco allowed the emergence of some brands. So we know that the scope of this industry bring 8 billion dirham. And of course, there are multinational brands that are operating also in Morocco. But these brands, we know that they are incorporated in the Moroccan market, and we know them for a long time. Today, this offer is paralleled with these competitors of Morocco, and of course that dominance of the multinational companies has been disturbed. Also, the cosmetic products in the past they were not numerous, they were not many, and now we know that 200 companies that are exporting their products, and of course this is important. These brands develop very well, very well, and there is a challenge for those who work in the exportation in terms of managing some constraints. There are the targeted market, there are the norms, the certificates, and also the channels of distribution, and the hotel chains, the spas, and also there are the trends that are renewing themselves. Now we talk about the solid cosmetic, which is of course trying to compete with the natural cosmetics. There is the labeling, and also there is other aspect in the market. I hope that this introduction has allowed you to give you a general idea, and I thank you very much. I give the floor now to Mr. Adil. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them. Thank you very much, Mr. Elias. Mr. Elias today is since thousands of years, he is accompanying, and he has accompanied the creation of several brands, not only in cosmetics, but also in the handicraft sector. He is one who is very beneficial, and of course, he can help a lot, and he is reliable. Well, without waiting more, I will invite Mr. Ala, who represents ADA, the Agricultural Development Agency, and he is part of this event, and he is involved in the development of our agricultural fabric in Morocco. Mr. Ala Alkom, he works in the department of the development of the product, local product in Morocco. Mr. Ala, you will introduce your presentation in Arabic, and we will be all ears. You have the floor. So in the beginning, I will talk about the potentials of this sector and the interest of this sector in the agriculture in Morocco. Second, I will talk about the Moroccan experience in promoting and marketing the local products. And then I will give you an idea about the intervention in order to accompany the small producers in order to access the markets. For this sector, it is a promising sector, and it is one of the pillars of agricultural sector in Morocco. This is due to several reasons. One, Morocco has several environmental systems, and there is a biodiversity that allows us to have diverse products. Second, there is knowledge and richness and culture in Morocco, because these products are part and parcel of our culture. And Moroccans, when we talk about this product, they talk based on their culture, so they reflect their own culture. There is also a working force that is young in Morocco. In addition, that there is a dynamism at the collective level. This sector is a promising sector in the rural area, and it creates several job opportunities, and also it contributes in the development in the remote areas in Morocco. In addition to that, there is the economic side, which means that there is a great demand. There is an increase in demand for this product nationwide in Morocco and internationally as well. Among the important things that we have to know is that the Green Plan of Morocco, which has been launched in 2008, gave a great importance to this product. And this importance made this sector one of the pillars of the agricultural sector in Morocco, and several efforts have been exerted in order to increase the production. Second, to improve the offer. Third, is diversifying the products between what is cosmetic and what is nutritious, which means that this market represents 60% of this product, and there is an increase in the demand. And this is due to several reasons. First, the international trend in the cosmetics, and also there is the clean beauty, the organic sector, the materials that are guaranteeing more sustainability, and also the storytelling and the products that have behind them some stories. And this led to enriching and giving more importance to the production of these materials, the industry of oil in argan. It is number one in argan, second in the medical herbs and byproducts, and also in the perfume herbs, in addition to the figs. Regarding the experience of Morocco in promoting the local product, I can tell you that we have reinforced these acquisitions in the plan of 2030 that has been launched by His Majesty the King. And this strategy of the Green Plan is aiming to achieve two things. First, improving the labeling, the packaging, the pricing, and the promotion, and also to facilitate the access for this products in Morocco and internationally. And we have five pillars. First, reinforcing and rehabilitating the producing communities. Second, establishing logistic and commercial platforms. Third, access to the modern promotion channels, and also supporting the efforts that are exerted in order to code the local products. Regarding the rehabilitation program, which is at the top of this accompaniment, this program aims to accompany the small producers in order to respond to the requirements of the market. This is through the participatory diagnosis, and also determine the opportunities for this group, and work on this through a plan that is extended in 5 years. And this guarantees the shift from the current stage to another stage that is more developed, and that guarantees the continuity of this group. The third phase is developing the capabilities of these producers, which means that when we accompany them, we reinforce them with some training, some workshops, and also workshops in which there is an exchange of experiences and expertise, in addition to designing new tools for marketing. And when we talk about tools, we talk about the visual identity, the slogan, all the things that give some beauty to the product and give it further boost. In order to make any program successful, there should be an accompaniment and also a follow-up. We have to know what has been achieved, and also to give a practical support to these producers in order to access the market. The other thing is to establish an infrastructure for the producers through establishing logistical platform, and these platforms have a logistical role and a commercial role. For the logistical role, it means that we are talking about storing dry products and also cold storage, and also we receive those who are interested in the local products. There is one in Husima and one in Meknas, and in the future there will be other for stations and spots, so that we have a whole coverage in the Kingdom of Morocco. Then we have to talk about accessing the organized market. Nationally, we signed partnership agreements with all the stakeholders in the retailer sector, and also the solidarity cooperatives, and we help them registering their products. And of course, these agreements of partnership brought with them the full exemption from the fees of registration or any other fees that have to do with the processing of the applications to access the market, which means that they start with 0 dirham. And also, we are talking about the shelves that are holding this product, and um, they gave us a time frame from their side, so with that we work on our own products. Of course, we organize promotion campaigns in the high seasons, especially during the Ramadan and Sha'ban, and during the seasons and the months when the Moroccan diaspora comes back home. And there is another concept which is the cooperative kiosks. This concept is about the clothes shops, and this cooperative kiosk were successful. And of course, we will work on other kiosks in other cities in Morocco. The third section here is about the international and national exhibitions. There is the Agency of Developing the Agriculture and it is monitoring the participation of the local small producers in Meknes exhibition, in the dates exhibition in Air Food, and also some regional exhibitions. In addition to that, there is a follow-up of the participation of Moroccans in the international exhibitions, like the nutrition and the food exhibition in Abu Dhabi, and the Green Week in Berlin, and the other exhibitions. And in parallel, in the sidelines, there are these meetings, commercial meetings between our producers and the representatives of the companies that are interested in these products, like the distributors and also those that are specialized in restaurants, hotels, etc. All those who are interested in our local products. Otherwise, there can be a targeted mission that is targeting those who want to take part in these commercial meetings. And of course, since Morocco is going in this direction of the digital transformation, we know that we have to engage the local producers, and we have been engaged in a digital platform that was launched recently in March the 3rd, 2022, and it is Terroir du Baroque, and its objective is to find access to this product, and it is a liaison and a link between the producers and the potential consumers, which means that you can go to this platform, digital platform. You will find all the information, the addresses, the numbers of telephone, the emails, everything that can allow you to reach the group. And also there is a video and an illustration about the products. You get an idea, and then you can get in touch with the person who sells these products. And this platform allows the producer, the consumer in Morocco, it allows the consumer to reach the stores that have this product based on the GPS. And this platform includes the GPS application, and it gives the consumer suggestions as regards to all the shops that sell these products. And for the local shops, there is always this first contact with the product in order to make the decision to buy it or not. And this feature is included in this platform. In addition to that, we created a brand which is Terroir du Maroc, and it was registered nationally and internationally in order to protect it. And we talked about it in the event of Made in Morocco, and the importance of this brand, registered brand, is to organize the use of the local products. Based on the study that we conducted, we found out that everyone is using this brand and this labeling of local brand. So we have to organize and to structure again this practice. It's why we created this brand. In addition to that, this collective code allows the promotion of this product and protects their reputation. And we not only created this brand, but we accompanied on the ground these efforts, which means that on the ground we conduct some activities of analysis, and also we monitor the products through the field visits, and also we pay visits that are not expected, which means field visits, in order to make sure that the product is respecting all the norms and the regulations of the Ministry of Agriculture. And also we conduct and launch some awareness campaigns in order to shed light on these products that are being used and shed light on the effort that are being exerted by the Ministry of Agriculture, especially in coding, and it worked on GP and also the protected items and the agricultural code, Avis Agricole, and our role was to raise awareness about these codes and make the user familiar with the privileges of these products that have these codes. And also our goal is to promote the reputation of this product. I will give you a glance about these activities that we have been involved in. This is a part of the efforts that we have exerted in the framework of improving the quality of the products. This is an image illustrating the shelves in some of the shops and supermarkets, and you can see here a big part that is dedicated to the cosmetic product in one of the shops and supermarkets. And there is also this experience of promoting the product through offering a taste experience to the user and the consumer. This is a shop that is dedicated exclusively to local products in Muhammadiyah. This is an example of the promotion campaigns that we conduct in Ramadan in Morocco. The cooperative kiosks, and the upper one is in Rabat, the other is in Agadir. The promotion in the streets aims at having this advertisement that is close to the consumers, and also we rely on the advertisement in the cine halls and also in the big posts in the big streets in the metropolitan cities. This represents examples of our participations in Paris exhibition and also the food exhibition in Abu Dhabi. And this represents one of the business meetings that have been organized in the sideline of Expo Dubai 2020. I will leave you with a success story. So the last thing is the experience. So the best thing is that we see how things are being realized on the ground. As we saw, there are several things that have been achieved by the administration of Morocco, but we have to believe that these are things that change the life of people. In reality, we are disturbing this image of made in Morocco. We are having this revolution in which a lot of stakeholders participate, and of course, this is aiming to serving the idea of made in Morocco. I will leave you with this video. Not very. While we await the video, I don't know what she will tell us, but at least she looks at it. We can postpone it to the end. So anyway, thank you very much for your listening. What is very interesting in the presentation that we have listened to is that there is the corporate aspect of this intervention. We wanted, through the witnesses of Elias Ben Talha and also Si Ala, we wanted also to refer to the presentation of Tariq al-Siddiq. The main objective is to show to you that there is an engagement by the government and the administration, and it is very important for the potential investors in order to know that the government legislates, boosts, and supports the investors. And starting from this moment, we will try to have a presentation that is more interactive, if you allow us. Why we want this interaction? Because the experience and the information and the accompaniment that is happening in the handicraft house is very important. I don't know if you can feel what I mean. You have all the opportunities to succeed when you have the support. Now, there are other things that should be taken into consideration. I would like to thank you, Ala, for your professionalism and your excellent presentation. Now, I call Raja. You know Raja Ait Bil Hussein. Well, Raja, why Raja is with us here? Raja represent the continuity of what we have done. We talked about the accompaniment in the handicraft house, the valuation, the value chain, the accompaniment given and offered by ADA, accompaniment and the support to the farmers and those who are working in the agriculture. And this is not possible unless we are following the conformity and the compliance. Compliance is important, and in this regard, Raja Ait Bel Hussein, who is a director and founder of Ironim Foundation, she will explain to us how to export this cosmetic product. This is very important. Raja, you have the floor. I know that you prefer interactivity like me, and I trust you. Thank you.
let's say you are an investor, you're interested, you're totally seduced by all the botanicals that you can get out of the Moroccan history. And now you're ready, but you don't know where to start, how to start, what am I supposed to do? I know I have support. I have governmental support from agencies, from governmental programs, but how do I start? Where? What am I supposed to do to be up to standards? Why I'm here again is for two reasons. To tell you that you can be really cool about it because you have all the necessary laboratories, structures that will do this work along with you. That's the first thing. And the second thing, that we do have the know-how. Now we have moved from a country who's got a millennial know-how of cosmetics to a country who's got the knowledge of the ISO standards. We talked about the resources earlier today, so I'm just going to skip this slide and go directly to what we call DMP, Direction du Médicament et de la Pharmacie. It's the national agency that regulates drugs and cosmetics registration. Since December 2016, it has become mandatory for all the companies selling, manufacturing, finished products or ingredients for cosmetics to register either as a manufacturer, producer, supplier, or as a merchant. Depending on that, you will have to fill out a long list of requirements, which none of the less is the requirements that are asked for in Europe, in the USA, and in the Gulf countries, and I believe in Asia as well. So, quick introduction of this agency is the National Agency for Drugs and Pharmacy, responsible for drugs, cosmetics, and medical devices registration. You can read down the name of the reference of the article. And the mission is to assess the safety of cosmetic products through the anti-poisoning center. This is one of the steps of the registration, to make sure that your formula, the quantitative formula, not only the ingredients that are listed on the products in market, is informed, that you have made all the challenge tests to assess the safety on a microbiological standpoint, that you had done the toxicological profile to assess the toxicity of the product. Basically, as a merchant of finished product or ingredient, you have to prove that you're not selling something that is harmful for the human health. There are standardized tests, which we can find in the European Pharmacopoeia, which is the one that's used in Morocco, and it's actually the same here and in America with slight differences. Also, this agency will be responsible, and you will be responsible towards this agency to prove that you have a follow-up of any cosmetic adverse effects, cosmetovigilance. Basically, you are selling your product, 10 years down the road, if somebody calls and say, okay, I've got a rush when I used your product, you are supposed to do the follow-up to make sure that you have called and said, okay, no use of these products for, let's say, a pregnant woman. This is cosmetic adverse effects follow-up, cosmetovigilance. And the cosmetic ingredient safety assessment and registration for imported and exported products. So, let's say you are investing in argan oil, and you've got doubts because, okay, I don't know, am I getting really good argan oil or not? Am I getting really good clays or not? Actually, if your supplier could ship it to you, that means it definitely went through many checkpoints that made sure that it's up to the ISO standards, the international standards. We will talk about these checkpoints. First, I would like just to introduce all the steps, basically the checkpoints that are there to assure the quality of the products that you are getting when you are importing products from Morocco. EACCE, l'établissement autonome de contrôle et de coordination des exportations, connu sous FOODEX. Lately, which means 2-3 years ago, with COVID, we can't really date back things anymore. There is a mandatory agreement that you need to have from this service, which is a governmental agency, to be able to export your cosmetic ingredients or finished products outside of Morocco. What l'OACCE will ask for is, are you registered with the DMP? Do you have the IC 22716 certification? Yes, okay, you can go ahead. No, sorry, we can't go, let it go. So basically, this is a checkpoint that assures that whichever ingredient or finished product that is food or cosmetics that comes from Morocco is definitely up to the international standards of quality. ISO 22716. This is a big barbarian name. ISO stands for something that is valid everywhere internationally, and this is the reference of it. Basically, it's the good manufacturing process norm. It makes sure that the GMPs are applied, that there is a quality management system that is applied. To make it really simple is to make sure that whoever gets into the manufacturer comes from one door, gets out from another door. We're not crossing trash and entering ingredients, that we are manufacturing properly in a neat way, and that there is no bacterial infections, or it's sterile, it's clean, well done, well shipped, well logisticated, and well stored. I will try to fly by the slide, but the only thing that really is the most important is it ensures the manufacturer's compliance to the international guidelines. So if you're buying a product that is manufactured on an ISO 22716 line, whether you buy it in Morocco, in Taiwan, or in South Africa, it is the exact same quality standards. In Morocco, I will go back to this point after this one, the PIF, product information file. This is the dossier that every finished product needs to have throughout all the life of a product, as long as it's sold, and even 10 years after that reference has stopped being on the market, it needs to be kept, well kept, on the shelves of every brand. What it is supposed to contain? All the material and safety data sheet of every single ingredient that is entered in that product, that's used to manufacture that product. The correct labeling, the manufacturing process, which is GMP or ISO 22716 if the manufacturer is certified. The labeling, which I said, the proof of efficacy, if any claims. Let's say I'm saying this is a slimming cream. I have to do a clinical study and prove that my cream actually makes you lose so-and-so centimeters. And the proof of safety, which means that your product is correctly preserved. You buy a cream, you open it up, you start using it. 2 months down the road, you're not supposed to find moisture in your cream. That's because it's correctly preserved. And that's something that you need to test ahead of throwing your product onto the market. And finally, the toxicological profile, very important point, because there's allergies and there's toxicity. A good product could make an allergy to anyone. This is something that you cannot really forecast. However, or at least not 100%. However, some doses of certain ingredients are definitely toxic, either for the human being or for the nature. For that, there is an international program, which is the REACH, R-E-A-C-H, which will reference all the chemicals and the doses at which you are allowed to include it in your product or not. This job is done by a toxicologist who will study every single molecule that is into that product, the percentages, the lethal doses, and at the end will say, okay, irritant, non-irritant, that's okay, you can sell it, it's not toxic, or no, just forget about it. This is to make it simple. But all of these documents with others need to be included in your product information file. This file needs to be well kept by the company and the brand up to 10 years after that reference is not sold anymore. This slide is a little too detailed. I will just go over it. We'll definitely go back to it if you have any questions about it. But basically, it breaks down grossly the product information file components. And here I speak briefly about our contribution as a laboratory established since 2009 in Marrakesh in Morocco. For the little story, when I was in graduate school, I asked my dad, should I specialize in drug manufacturing or in cosmetics? And he said, do you want to come back to Morocco? I said, yeah, of course. Why would I stay in France? He said, okay, well, my dear daughter, there is plenty of cosmetic chemists in France, but your country has a lot of resources and needs people who will add to their value to this field. So came back to Morocco. Can't thank him enough for his advice because he was really wise about it. Since then, we have grown a big team of engineers, of PhD biologists, specializing in cosmetic industry and ingredients. And we have been able to develop several hundreds of finished products that are formulated, that are today sold on the market, to work to evaluate different natural ingredients from Morocco and outside of Morocco, African ingredients especially. We have performed hundreds of tests to evaluate these ingredients or to constitute the product information file for the registration, which we actually worked on for the DMP and also for the European market with the Portail Européen. And we have helped many companies' products to register that and to develop for clients in Morocco, France, Belgium, United Kingdom, USA, Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Kingdom, Gabon, Senegal, Ivory Coast, and actually a dozen of African sub-Saharan countries. Case studies. And I think this is probably the most intriguing part for you because we're talking practical. I took different examples of clients that we have worked with. Arganis being a partner company, we are the R&D devoted service of Arganis. Arganis is a Moroccan company that's been here for over 20 years. Headed by Madame Ben Shkroun Mriem. She's a pharmacist, and when she came back to Morocco, she was so seduced by the Moroccan biotope that she decided to launch a brand based on natural ingredients. And even though they work very neatly, when this new regulation came, they had to go through registering all the products. So what we did is that we have registered in the past 2 or 3 years, probably close to 100 different references. That's just to be up to standards. In this past 2 years, they also, 5 years actually, they also got their certification as an ISO 22716 manufacturer. Caracoles. This is a small company of 2 partners from the north of Morocco, Al-Gharb, and they are growing snails. And they were seduced by the snail slime concept. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. Basically, in Peru, where this is a very high activity, they have noticed that most farmers, they spend their time, they spend their time putting their hands into those big jars with snails. And they have the outer shell breaks, but their hands stay very soft. So they've been questioning what's the reason, and when they checked what the snail slime composition is, they found that it's very rich in growth factors. So this is how it got viral in Asia, in Europe, and here comes this man to my office asking me, okay, we're growing snails. Can we do something about it? I said, okay, let's start by adding value to it. Do you have any documents that says what it is made of? Is it preserved. And he's like, no, okay, we can work on this step first. And this is what we did. We took samples, we did the tests, we created the documents, MSDS, TDS, marketing, bibliographical based presentations, and all sorts of marketing tools. And now they sell their 1 liter of snail slime, 1,000 US dollars per liter, where they were selling it 660 US dollars a liter, 600 dirhams, Moroccan dirhams. So this is like a huge rise. Yeah, this is a real success story because 2 years later he came back. Now I want a finished product line. I said, okay, let's go. Atonga. Atonga, this is now a good friend of mine. Actually, we manufactured with IRCOS. Yeah, this is a project we had worked on with Dr. Khalid Betar. And this is an African entrepreneur that came up to me with a fruit called safu. It looks like an eggplant. It's pulpy. And he said, okay, we make butter out of this fruit. And all the Western African countries do massages to their kids and they put it on their bodies, to their hair. It's awesome. I said, okay, great. Have you got any paperwork for that? Yeah. I have to be the devil's advocate every time when clients come. But it's for their benefits. And he said, no. So, okay, let's start working. So we did the analysis, tests, could identify the composition, do the toxicity, microbiology, vieillissement, the stability tests, and we had all the documents. Now we can use it for a cosmetic line. And thus we started a cosmetic line based on, made of 6 references. Today it's selling in in pharmacies in different countries in Africa, including Gabon, Senegal, Western Africa. And finally, Hafsa is an example of a link between Europe and Morocco. This is a Moroccan lady, no, a Belgian of Moroccan origins, Belgian lady of Moroccan origins, who wanted to work with the community of her childhood or family village. So what we did is that we evaluated the argan oil that this cooperative produced, and we used it for a finished product that Hafsa sells in Belgium. And finally, last but not least, looking forward to this project, which we are probably going to be working on soon, inshallah, which is the valuation of Al-Itihmid Al-Ahmar. It's a Moroccan clay that we can only find in the southern area of Laayoune. And this is a project talking about the governmental support. This is a project that the agency Provence for the promotion of the southern provinces area, region, sponsors for cooperatives in this area. And this will help them have an ingredient with all the documentation necessary. And I believe that the next step will be using it because these women have been empirically using it for their beauty rituals. So we could definitely work on something that could be more international. As a review, the sector in the 5 or 6 past years has gone through a tremendous positive change throughout the 5 past years. An increase in the number of company registration with the GMP, an increase in the number of product registration with the same service, an increase in the number of GMP implementation or ISO 22716 certification, an increase for the demand for ingredients valuation and registration. The incentives, I love this part. This is my favorite slide. the rise of finished products and ingredients suppliers turnover, because I could talk to you for hours and hours about regulations, standards, quality. As a firm, as an investor, you're going to have to look at what you're putting as a money in it and what you can get out of it. Because unfortunately, finances is a big factor when doing business. One of the incentives is the huge number of supportive programs that the Kingdom of Morocco sponsors to help build a strong industrial offer in the natural cosmetic sector. The presence of different research and development laboratories, such as ours, Nerolim Laboratoire Cosmétique, which provide the gray matter for a strong impact in added value. And finally, actually, this is my best incentive. It's the positive feedback. I love this one. We can put a huge effort into implementing something, but once you touch, you feel, you can see the positive outcome, I do not have to inject any more effort to implement it, to make it happen, to make it be something that happens over and over again. Why? Because I feel happy. It's clean, it's good. People are happy about the products, they're having fun, and we're getting good money out of it, and everybody's good, you know? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Raja. Thank you, Raja, for your insights. So, as we heard, we have the inputs, we have the processes, and now we have the blockchain. Welcome to the cosmetics blockchain. And this is time to get trust, because when you get trust, you can sell and export. First, we were in this seductive or seduction meetings, explaining our history, our legacy, the fact that we had cosmetics in 10,000 years. But today, we can provide this blockchain capacity to investors, which is very important. Maintenant, I will switch again in French. Maintenant, j'ai le plaisir
of my country and allow them to invest in a sector that is known, and even in the crisis and during the pandemic, it continued growing. Madame Abbasi is the president and director of Izil brand, and she is the ambassador of our brand in Dubai, and I invite her for a witness because witnesses are the best. It is a great honor to me because in my capacity as the president of the Moroccan brand, I can tell you that she has contributed enormously to the flourishing of this brand. She is a woman that employs hundreds of people, multiple nationalities. Thank you very much. We are proud of you, and thank you for having hosted us in your second country, the United Arab Emirates. Thank you for having accepted our invitation to give your testimony and to tell them that it is still possible, and of course this is something that can shine everywhere in the world. Thank you very much for your invitation. Thank you all. My name is Muna Abbasi. I am a Moroccan citizen. Now I'm here in Dubai since 2006, and I am the founder and CEO of Izil and now it is 10 years. So in September, we will celebrate the 10th anniversary of Isil. It is a brand that started from scratch. The idea came to me when I arrived to Dubai in 2005. At that time, I noticed that I was always having this attachment to the recipes of Morocco, etc. And when I came to Dubai, I felt that nostalgia to the argan oil and to a lot of products that were not available in the Emirati market. So I got the idea and I said, let's do something. I worked with my husband, who is Moroccan, and we worked with multinational companies for 10 years. And in reality, when I worked with a multinational company, this idea came back to me. Why? Because there was this patriotism and this pride. So yes, I managed some international brands, and of course there were brands which had Moroccan ingredients, and some products had been named Moroccan names, but had nothing to do with Morocco, and I didn't absorb that easily. I didn't like it, and that was the major motive to me. And I said to myself, we have a great richness. Our country is great. We have a lot of grants by God, and we have only to know how to marketize that, how to sell that, and elevate that richness and heritage of Morocco at the international level. So we started from scratch. We started with 9 products, and at that time we got the help of Beauty World, where we met some Moroccan suppliers. We looked in the internet because we wanted to have stakeholders who can help us. At that time, I didn't have science cosmetic background, and I didn't have chemistry background. So I looked for a solution. I looked for somebody who can help us develop this product, and also somebody who can help us buy the raw materials from Morocco. So after that, we started in Facebook, and we took part in some exhibitions in the United Arab Emirates, and thanks to God, we noticed that our products have been liked and appreciated, and we said at that time we will integrate the corporate life and we will engage in a corporate life. We opened our first kiosk in 2014. We had argan oil, ghasul, clay, and also other products that I co-developed with a supplier and a Moroccan laboratory at the time. So I told them what I will use, saffron, the Moroccan saffron, the argan oil, etc. So do this mix for me, and let's work together. So we worked this way for years, and gradually the operations increased. The scope of our operation also developed. Today we have our shop in Dubai Mall, and we added another aspect, which is the service. And today you can have a Moroccan bath 100% in Dubai Mall. So this is an invitation to have a Moroccan experience entirely, 100% for man and woman, of course, separated. And of course, we have everything that is commerce. So my husband export to several countries, especially to the Gulf countries, our products. Very good. So we conclude that it was not a startup, it was a start down. Yes, this is how successes are made. Yes, for people who know me, they know very well that we were three people who were doing everything. Me and my husband, who is my partner, who was the one who delivered the products, of course, with commissions and for the orders in e-commerce. I was in charge of that. I was also receiving the calls. So I say, I am Khadija, and I give to myself a name in order to answer the calls of the clients. Use the microphone, please. I would like to support you as a friend. And of course, when you mentioned Hammam Izil, I am very proud of that achievement. When I talk about her hammam, I always say this is the first hammam in Dubai Mall. That is something unprecedented. We are proud of it. We know that it is a protocol that all the celebrities, including the Moroccan celebrities like Hatim Amour and Asma Al Mnower, even the or Moroccans, and they do not have this protocol. And also there is this decor and this ambience that makes you feel that you are in Morocco. So Muna made a great effort in transforming a local spa hammam into a Moroccan spa and hammam, and all the Arab celebrities, they use it and they are very happy. And we use Izil. You have an unbelievable ambassador, an excellent ambassador. Well, we work together, but when I talk about Muna, I talk about a success, about a history, about a lot of details that cannot be absorbed easily and perceived easily. I know what she went through, and I know how she believed in what she did, and she believed in her potentials, and how she managed to conduct all this successfully. Well, now people are following us in the internet, and Muna Abbasi is an example and a model for the young that want to do like her. So she inspires them, and we said earlier, proudly Moroccan. Thank you very much, Miss Muna, for this testimony. And thank you very much for your patriotism. And thank you very much for being who you are, Moroccan woman. I will not miss the opportunity. And I know that I have a high caliber invitee and the guests for those who are not originally from Morocco. We have the chance today to have a great woman from Morocco who is proudly Moroccan. She is an entrepreneur and she is very active in the social life and in the association life. She is one of the pioneers in the sector of cosmetics, and she is a great ambassador. And I have the great honor to invite Badia Beitar. Madame Badia.
Yes,
We are also happy to have you today.
yes. Thank you, Saadil. Alors, je ne saurais parler après.
So I know that many people talked about the cosmetics, their experiences, their testimonies. Allow me to say that I'm very proud. I am a woman who always talk passionately. After the presentation of Mr. Bantalha, whom I thank a lot, and also Mr. Muad, we have to applaud him and give him a round of applause. Thank you, Mr. Muad. So of course we have to give them the credit because they are working hard. As Mr. Adil said, we are in the sector of cosmetics. I'm proud to defend this sector all the time. So for the handicraft house, La Maison d'Artisan, we are privileged and we have worked with the salons and the Ministry of the Handicrafts and the Tourism had accompanied us, and also the solidarity economy. I think I better stand up if you allow me, because I don't see you all. I prefer to remain like this. This way I control my words. And of course, it is better. Believe me, I am very proud today to share with you the historic moments that I detected. The experience of Miss Mona is heartwarming. This is the militant women. The women have a lot of potentials, and you see the privilege of having the testimonies of these friends. Allow me to say that the testimony of Ms. Raja Abel Hussein also impressed me. I knew her when she was young, and now she is growing, and it warms really my heart. So we see these young entrepreneurs who give more value and added value to the brand of Morocco. Of course, we are in this field of the product of Morocco, the feminine beauty, and this helps us to value the role of women in the cosmetics. If I talk as a woman who is heading an enterprise, a company, I can tell you that there are several potentials, and the women have to value more the local products. We have to talk about our institutions, our values, and all the stakeholders who help the women, the cooperatives of women. They do a great job. As Mr. Bentalha said, and as Ms. Raja said, there are plants that are valued, and they are purely Moroccan. Argan oil, and also the tree of argan, the roses of Morocco, the oil, as Mr. Ala said, and I congratulate Mr. Ala for his interesting and important presentation. I would like to talk about the women experience and what the woman can present to the economy of the Moroccan country. I know that you can say a lot about the potentials of Moroccan women, but I would like to ask you one question. The entrepreneur that you are, if you are asked to give an advice to the young, to the foreigners, to the people who want to engage in this sector, frankly, how will be your advice? Well, It is a very good question. Believe me, you have always to dare, not to fear anything. Yes, this is the objective. You have to dare. We have a lot of potentials, and especially the Moroccan woman in the cosmetic industry is capable of a lot of things because the beauty is incorporated in her genes, in the productivity, and of course, we know that the man also can contribute to cosmetics. But as Mona said, the woman is familiar more with the Rasul, with the Karel Bildi, and she knows all these materials, so she doesn't have to remain handcuffed because she can innovate more, and this is a motive. And when you want something, you can do it. I think that you can add this to your book. Daring is innovating. It is a very important point. I would like to add one more thing. I am very proud to see the women in cosmetic industry are helped. We are in Marrakesh. We are proud to see this incubator. And I can say that I call upon all those who are interested, as Mr. Muad said, I say that we have to help women to have more marketing, to commercialize more their product and what they have in different areas. It is very important that we see the government institutions help women in the cosmetic industry. We have to believe that the accompaniment is very important because it helps those who are working in cosmetics to grow. It's why the incubator notion is very important. I can tell you that I can help women to improve their productivity as entrepreneurs and also accelerate the rhythm of their growth in cosmetics. I told you she is generous. I am proud to see the fruits of our starts, Irkos, and now there are youngsters who are managing successfully their companies and businesses. And we know that our fruits led to the burgeoning of the spring in this cosmetic industry, valuing the Moroccan brands and Moroccan product. Thank you very much, Badia. Thank you very much, Adil. I congratulate you. So I would like to tell you today that all these actions are highly valued and or implemented. And we have a last witness and testimonial, somebody who is in contact with the Moroccan institution, Marrakesh, and we have with us Madame Filali, Kautar Filali. Do you hear me? Yes. Hello, Kautar. We cannot hear you. Unfortunately, we have a little connection problem. No, it's okay. Yes, I hear you. Thank you very much for the invitation. First of all, I would like to thank Elias Ben Talha for the invitation. I would love to have been with you, but unfortunately it was not possible. I am representing the cluster Minara, and it is a cluster that is labeled behind the Ministry of Industry, and it aims to value in the production of Morocco and the Moroccan product. Thank you very much, Kautar, for having accepted our invitation. Madame Abbasi and Madame Bitar, they presented to us what was their initiative in entrepreneurship. You represent a cluster that is very important in this industry. We say that this represents 13% in our country. It is a sector that employs directly or indirectly 25% of the Moroccan population. If you can tell us in few words why there is this trend in cosmetics, why this sector is promising. As a manager, how can you tell the attendees if they can go in this direction? In the beginning, it is difficult to take the floor after Raja and Bitar. Of course, these are success stories that are with us. Cluster, in addition to other brands. And I can tell you that we have to say that we need to applaud the evolution of the sector of cosmetics. We started in 2013, 2014. There were very few companies. Now in 2022, there are 73 companies that are different because we accompany also the startups in the cosmetics in collaboration with the experts of this field. And for Ms. Raja, we can say that there are projects that are interested in this branch because it is a big market. There are some segmentation and some niches in which the companies can be presented in several countries, but we have to say that, and as Ms. Raja said, there are challenges in this sector because daily there is the constraint of certification and also a lot of challenges. So it is a matter of respecting the norms and the criteria. There are in Morocco some companies that are acting responsibly. They know what to export. They respect the standards of the quality in order to make the Moroccan product shine at the international level. Thank you very much, Madame Filali. And thank you very much for being up to the expectations in defending the Moroccan product. And thank you for your militant spirit in Cluster Minara. And we are sure that this will be an incubator of the Moroccan brand of high caliber. Thank you very much. I think, and before we go together to taste a dinner cocktail that is offered by the Moroccan Pavilion for all the attendees with us today, I would like to thank you all for your participation, for your time. I would like also to thank in particular the organizing team, Mehdi, all the colleagues working with him for their professionalism and for their availability Without them, we could not have done this. I would like also to express to you that this theme of Moroccan cosmetic is a theme that triggered in all of us a lot of motivation and hope. It is a promising market. It is a support to the market. There are the necessary qualifications. I think that we are the first ones to have this cosmetic blockchain. All the doors are open, and we hope that the exchanges and collaboration and the investment will increase in the future. Thank you very much. It was a great pleasure to be with you today. I say again, proudly Moroccan, truly international. Thank you.